Guys, YouTube, family, what is going on? Daniel here for another video. Finished up my walk. Want to sit down for this one, give you guys some wisdom, some thoughts, some reflections. And honestly, I feel so good. Just doing this video. The process is really all you need. It's crazy when you actually just fall in love with the process, forget the results. And I've been able to align myself more and more. Thankfully, God has given me the steps that I need to follow, and simply doing that in faith and aligning myself and realizing now what I'm here to do, which is help others, men, get out of lust that crippled me for so long and I thought was real, and these thoughts I had and this lack I had I thought was real and everyone suffered with. But when you're with the person that brought you here, the one that has all the faith in you, the one that loves you, you realize that you're here for a bigger purpose than to simply suffer and chase desires and as an escape for that. I mentioned in my story, my Instagram, I post every day there. You guys can go follow. But for many years, I simply didn't like my own presence, being with myself, the reality I had created. And what I did, instead of facing that like a man would, I escaped that, with the women, and constantly adding new ones and needing that validation from them, from the guys in the community that were with me, and applauding me and saying, "Oh, good job, man, you're killing it, bro." Like, teach me. I had guys that reached out, wanted me to teach them, and everything was perfect. I have no regrets about that. But I made a post yesterday on my Instagram and had a lot of people that unfollowed, which is perfect. It just shows that God is showing me the people that are meant to be with me and in my community. But it just showed that everyone lives for this world, and this world is simply programmed to make you chase pleasure, make you just focus on desires and things that you think are external, are going to make you or give you permission to feel like that person you want to feel like, or be that person, or find that fulfillment. And I can tell you, for 3-4 years, when I was living that lifestyle and programmed, and allowing myself to be programmed by the hedonistic lifestyle and thinking it's the next girl and trips and that fast lifestyle, I can tell you, the more you get in that and the faster it comes, the more empty you feel, the more you're actually searching for more answers. And even though everything's in front of you, you can have everything. You can have the perfect girlfriend, you can have the trip you always want, the place you always want to see. You could be experimenting with drugs with them or alcohol, whatever you want, whatever you see in movies and think, I want to do that. Your ego wants that. That is what's going to take you to your destruction. And thankfully, I mentioned in the video, God helped me see that when I was in Argentina 2 years ago in April, and I had a girlfriend at the time. And essentially, I was in a club, and I had experimented with drugs there. I was going through that phase. Women weren't enough. I had a girlfriend at the time, so I surpassed that, or outgrew that of thinking it was women. So I had one, and then that feeling was still there. So drugs came into the picture, festivals, events, stuff like that. But that, thankfully, God was still with me. He's always with you. You have to just basically turn around and look behind you. Right now, your ego is what's leading you, and that's why you're blinded by desires. But basically, He was there with me, and I just was there, coming down from this high of whatever it was I was taking. I think ecstasy or ketamine, whatever it was that you take. I believe it was those two. And I felt this emptiness. I looked, my girlfriend at the time there. Also, there was no light in her eyes. Nothing was there. Just simply just searching. Like, the best I can describe it is someone being alive but searching for how, what's next. Like, it's a weird thing to describe, but it's like you're able to be present and enjoy, like I am enjoying this and recording this for you. But when you're in that place and you're simply just lost in the external, you've added everything externally, but still you're searching. Like it's like a eternally confused person, or like eternally searching person. It's hard to describe, but I saw that with her. I looked around and people were just doing the same thing, like in their head, looking for answers, and everyone was just, I felt the devil. I felt death. I felt no energy there. I felt like this is not where I'm supposed to go. This is not what was written for me. This is not what I signed up for. You know, in the beginning, you see all the flashy life and you see the girls and whatever it is, the cars, and you think this is what it's about. It's what I want to go after. You know, threesomes or whatever it is that you think is what's going to bring you that fulfillment. But like I said, I've done everything. I've checked off all the boxes, and when I hit that point and saw that, you know, the only thing that's next for me is death, because if I go down this road, just more drugs and not even feeling good with what I was taking, which was pretty good amount at the time, I realized this is not it. So thankfully God got me out, and it took me years to get to the place I'm at now, 2 years, but it was a lot of basically just disalignment, you know, just still desiring money at that point and doing everything to chase money. Thankfully I found my mentor Yados, who removed all those distractions, that noise, and tried to get me to the signal, which I see now was God. And then God as well brought me my mentor and coach now, my brother, my spiritual brother, Mike. And it's crazy the work we've done. We're going to give faith to the world. I can assure you guys that. We've been working together. He's going to watch this as well one day. And we're going to bring faith to the world. I firmly believe that, because, you know, after every post I make and, you know, the reactions I get, or like the unfollowers I got yesterday, I've realized that everything is backwards. You know, the truth, really, people go against it because it's not something that feels good in the moment. You know, everyone wants to feel good right now, and they think it's about, you know, how do I feel good, you know, living for the weekend like I did. Right now it's a Friday when I'm recording this, and people are planning, you know, their trip, if they're going to go out for me like a getaway, or, you know, what they're going to drink tonight, who they're going to try and fuck. You know, they're setting up their Tinder, men, you know, they're trying to get bottles to invite girls and just get lost in that. And it's really crazy that people think that's the way and that's what's going to bring them what they're looking for. And like I said, I was at a place where I had everything, I had the lifestyle, and I was still around people that were still searching. And I said, this is not it. And that's what I want to get people away from. I want to get men away from that, of going down that road far enough to see that, you know, you can have everything and have nothing internally. You know, your soul is still aching for something, because we are spiritual beings living a physical experience, not the other way around. You're not meant here to indulge in your flesh and desires and women and sex and drugs and everything you see in the movies. You know, it's everything that's being programmed into you is not the way. The truth and, you know, the path that I will show and bring others on, those that are ready, that, you know, have realized that they're in ego and it's not giving them the answers they're looking for, or not, they're not feeling the way they want to. The path is for the 0.01%. It's being consistent in the habits, waking up before 5, tracking your macros, training every day, reading, reflecting, staying away from vices, no vices, nothing at all, no gambling, I don't care what it is, porn, masturbation, everything that brings you this feeling, staying away from that. And, you know, following your conscience, staying connected, staying aligned, and walking the path that God has for you. God has the perfect story for you, the perfect plan. And you may not believe it right now. If you're watching an ego, that's perfectly fine. Everyone has their journey and, you know, the steps they need to take, but realize that it's blinding you. Ego is like a blindfold to your eyes. People have eyes, like you have me, looking into the camera, and you see mine, but they don't see. Meaning, what's actually real is what you don't see. What's actually real is what's happening with God, and, you know, in the realm that we're not supposed to see but believe in. And it's, you can say, the third eye, but you understand that place once you get there and remove all this noise and distractions and things that you think are going to bring you somewhere. And once you remove that, you get more aligned with that. That's really all you need. I wake up every morning before 5 and thank God for giving me the opportunity to live in this life and have my family and everything around me, and the blessings of being able to work out and still use my body to be able to walk and see and smell and hear and touch and taste, laugh, and everything that I took for granted at one point. But most importantly, being able to connect with that place that I know He has ready for me and for everyone that believes and obeys. You know, believing is one thing, obeying is a different thing. I'll make a whole different video about that, but obeying is a lifestyle that, you know, I've adopted thanks to my coach and mentor. And, you know, it's also not listening to the thoughts or the thinking that you think are real, those stories you've been playing in your head, which is what guides you and, you know, gives power to your ego, because stories are what ego uses to give you this feeling that, you know, you're going down the right path. Maybe someone hurt you in the past and now you're on this path of like women and, you know, I need to fuck as many women as I can. Because someone hurt you or something happened, but you made a story about that, and now your ego is trying to latch onto that story and create a feeling that you can surpass that or show that person or whatever it is. It's all fake. It's all an illusion. And what's actually real is your conscience that's calling out to you, and you feel it. It's there. It was in the back of my head for many years. I realize it now. It's at the back, the very back. Let's say this is your head, and like this is your brain. This hand here, where the knuckle is, majority of your ego, and the back, where my wrist is your conscience. When you're an ego, when you remove the ego, and live in faith, it's the opposite way around. But realize that right now you make decisions based off ego, what feels good, what's going to show others something or validate yourself to others with something, and that's simply fake. And I've done that for many years and posted my life online when I was with girls and showing them me with girls, pulling girls, and sharing my opinions that like being single is the best, who needs women, and fuck relationships, if you're in a relationship you're a pussy, and all this. That was ego and me not allowing myself to be vulnerable and operate in love. It's a whole different story, but you realize that when you look back, that's all backwards, and it's all looking for a feeling that you do those things for. People reacting to that and you getting a feeling from that. But realize that feeling you're looking for, you can give to yourself. You can generate that with yourself, with the habits. With me, as you see me do, I'm waking up at the same time every day, and I'm passionate about doing this. I love doing this. I like giving you guys wisdom here so you guys can use that and navigate this world. And it's something that you can generate within yourself, like that passion. It's not something external. It's not lust you need to create and like add from something or someone. It's energy or whatever it is from something towards you. Because if you do that, you're constantly depending on something external, and you're never satisfied, never full. So I want to make this video and end it off here because things have to be done, and also it's very cold right now. If you guys see in Canada, the sun is coming out. It's actually a very nice view. You guys that crazy. But I want to show you guys that it's about removing the noise and the distractions, and that your purpose will come when you're aligned, when you're ready. Mine, like I said, you see it on my Instagram, helping men get out of the lust I was in, what I was feeling. And I know the stages. I've been in all the stages, starting out, in the middle of it, advanced, like tired of it. Like I've seen it all. I can have a call with somebody and know, okay, you're here, and how to get out of it. But it's having that commitment to removing the ego and removing what you've been programmed to carry around with you and think is real and you hold on to with security and you're scared to let go of. It's about letting go and removing and doing that in faith. And that's when you can actually grow. And I've been able to do that in as little as 5 months. Obviously, I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. The only perfect person to ever walk this earth was Jesus. But I'm getting closer and closer to, just consistency with living aligned, living in spirit. And that's what I want to give to those that need it, because you need that if you're simply attached to this world and desires and thinking it's outside of yourself. But I will give faith. I will keep showing up. I will keep showing and giving wisdom that I learned along the path, and I know now it's my path and my mission and I'm here to do. And I will help others. Like I said in the beginning, people will know the message, me and Mike's message, and will hear it and understand it, no matter how long it takes. I enjoy this process of waking up and weighted vest, walking in the morning, reading the Bible before, reflecting, connecting. Everything's perfect. The video cut out as I was saying everything is perfect, because it is crazy. But to end things off, make sure this is still on. You're meant for something bigger, and it sounds macro thinking or woo-woo, but trust me, step by step. It's not going to come overnight, but it's removing and having the faith and fighting those battles that you don't see, and knowing that they're where you don't see. Because like I said, you're going to have eyes but not see. And the battles that you're fighting, those thoughts you're having, those doubts and thinking you're in lack and needing that and this, is the devil programming you and just living within you in your thoughts. Because he's not this red person you see in movies with horns. He's with you always in your thoughts, and it's about battling that. And every day it's a spiritual battle to get out of that, listen to faith and not fear, and keep surpassing yourself, but getting to the place where God knows and always knew you're supposed to be. And scared me. Oh wow, someone's rollerblading. And that is how you ascend. So it's where you don't see, like I said, but the focus is being consistent with the habits. I gave you the ones to focus on, the wake up time, the macros, training every day. And then from there, removing the vices. That's keeping those removed is going to move you like crazy, move the needle like crazy. And if yours is lust, like mine was, it's removing the nightclubs, removing the Tinder, the dating apps. The Instagram, it has to be just removing yourself, facing yourself, looking in the mirror, facing that person that you've been escaping for so long, and then letting all those demons, you could say, out, but also letting your conscience come to the forefront and taking the steps. And even though it doesn't make sense and it's, you don't have all the steps laid out, it's taking step and having faith. And, you can connect with me and I'll be able to walk you through the process, coach you on how to get out of that. And like I said, I'm in a place now where I don't have issues of lust and watching porn or masturbating. I don't have these thoughts. It's crazy, but it sounds like I'm making this up, but I don't have those thoughts at all. And it's now just walking in purpose and helping others get to where I'm at. So God bless. If you guys stayed till the end of the video, I hope I inspired you in some way, gave you guys some wisdom, some a seed of faith to take into you on this Friday. You can reflect on and know that you're better and above those desires that are calling to you, which are simply the devil trying to keep you drifting, and you're meant for something bigger. So God bless. Like I said, you can follow my Instagram. Everything is there. We can connect, and share. You can share your story as well in the comment below. And if you're out of that, if you're currently in that, what you're doing to escape, and everything step by step. You don't have to compare yourself or compete. That's the devil. It's simply you and following the signal and the steps above. So God bless. Like and subscribe if you guys like the content. Every day I'll be posting on here, giving you guys faith and showing you guys the way and the art of living a life of purpose and of faith. So much love. As always, thank you for staying till the end. New family, I would be calling you guys. And as always, until next time, keep killing it.